Hey YouTube, my name is Laika. I'm going to be posting on my channel now, Speaking Beyond the Illusions. I put a post up the other day and I was saying that I was going to be talking about my spiritual awakening journey all the way up until right now. So, my name is Laika. I'm 44 years old and I live in the Midwest. So, with my spiritual awakening, I was awakened in 3 different stages up until now. I don't know if there's more stages to this thing or not. But my first stage was probably back in like 2013, 2014. And that's when I was awakened to like the worldly issues as far as the government and some of the corruption and all the conspiracy theories that are now not conspiracy theories at all, that most of us in this community has grown to know. And that was back in like 2013, 2014, 2015. So anyways, I want to say around 2016, 17, and 18, especially 2017. Every time I would look at the clock, it was my birthday. I'm talking about when I woke up, it was that time. Or if I was at work, it was my time on my birthday. At night, I would look at the clock and it was my birthday. I get in the car, it was my birthday. Receipts, gas prices, everything. I just always kept seeing my birthday. I'm like, what is it with these numbers? I'm like, why am I keep seeing my birthday? I even asked the guy who I was with at the time, hey, every time you look at the clock, are you seeing my birthday on the clock? And he's like, no, you tripping. And I was like, okay. So at that point, I didn't even think anything of it. And I just, continued to live my life. Fast forward to 2018, the guy that I was with, at the time, we had broken up and we had been together for 10 years. It was all the sweet nothings and we're gonna get married and all these sweet things, and of course it didn't happen. So I fell into this depressive mode. I started listening to high frequency music at night and sometimes during the day. A lot of meditation, reflection, and just going within, trying to see if it's something wrong with me, because I had a failed relationship before that I was really serious about. And so it just kind of hurt my heart. But anyways, I started listening to the high frequency music, and it was like, I don't know if the music itself changed something within me, but once I re-emerged in the world, after I had got enough strength to, start living again after the breakup, everyone just sounds so magnified. I'm so sorry. It's like windy out here today, but it's very beautiful and sunny, as you guys can see. But anyway, everyone sounds so magnified. It was like I was speaking through a microphone, and I remember asking people, am I loud? Am I loud? They're like, no, you're not loud. I'm like, well, you guys are loud. Like, it seems like you guys are talking so loud. And this went on for weeks. And at this particular time, I start seeing 1111 everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere I would look, 1111, 1111, 1111. I'm like, what is it with this 1111? So anyway, I had a neighbor at the time, and he introduced me to the Bible. And so I started reading the Bible, and then it just dawned on me, maybe this is Isaiah 11:11. So I go read the chapter, and it was like, the Most High will come and gather his people from the 4 corners of the earth, and from Petros and all of these lands that this chosen people were scattered in. And by the way, I do believe that the African Americans are God's chosen people. I really do believe that. But my awakening is going to go way beyond just the Israelites and us being God's chosen people. So stay tuned for that. That's going to come. So anyways, I kept seeing the 11:11. I kind of put that with Isaiah 11:11, that he's going to be gathering his people from the four corners of the earth and this and that. And I just kind of left it at that. And I felt really deep in the Israelite. I was wearing my head wraps and just trying to change my life for the better, because at that time I was partying, put it that way. I was just partying. Not all the time. I kept a job, and took care of my kids and stuff. But on the weekends when I had free time, I was doing my own little thing, as most of us have. So anyways, so I started just trying to change my life for the better, try to slow down on the partying and just trying to stay focused and follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which I still do that to this day, but it's not to the extent to where I'm just overly righteous, because that just puts a strain on you when you try to be just righteous to the T. No, not one person on this earth is perfect. We're gonna slide, we're gonna backslide, we're gonna have issues, we're gonna have our faults and shortcomings that we have to deal with. So anyways, that was that part of the awakening, as far as us being the Israelites and God's chosen people. And like, again, that was in 2018, and I had and held on to that belief from 2018 to, I would say, all the way up until 2024. And, I was just spreading the word, we're God's chosen people, to anybody who would listen. I knew my scriptures. I watched videos on TV of, all the brothers on the street corners, and it was just a mess. And then it kind of started rubbing me the wrong way because of the brothers on the street corners, how they would talk about women and degrade us, and how we're feminists and we're just ruined as a people and all of these things. And I was like, well, God chosen people are made of love and light, and I don't believe that we should be able to treat each other like that, So that was starting to die down on me as far as watching those type of videos. But I still believe that we were the chosen people, but it just wasn't a good fit for me any longer to listen to them. But I do thank them, because they did help me a lot with reading the Bible and understanding some of the scriptures in there for me at that particular time. So and at the time of this, my life is going great. My life is going great. I had a great job. My relationships that I had in my life was good. Me and my kids were good. Everything was just flowing, and we're just living life, right? And we're just doing our own thing, and everything is good. So I met a young man. I ain't gonna call him young like that, but I met a man, and anyway, I love him to death to this day. We go through our share of problems, but that's my heart. So anyways, we're together, and at this particular time, this is 2024, and life's good. I'm working, he's working. We're just doing okay. The kids seem to like him, and we're dating, and he's taking me out on dates. He's sending gifts to the house. He was just so. Anyway, this is not a story about him. This is about my awakening. So let me get back to the point. So during this time, I was scrolling through YouTube one day, and it was this video, and the title had caught my eye, and it was manifest your desires or something like that, something to that effect. So when I pressed on it, it was Neville Goddard. And with this community, I know people have probably heard of Neville Goddard. If not, you can always look him up on YouTube to see what he's about. But he had a firm belief that we co-create our own reality with the Most High God. And I already believe that to a certain degree, because if you think positive things happen, and negative thing happen, you know, so on and so forth. But I never took it to the extent to actually like put any thought into it and all of these things. So anyway, I started listening to his teachings, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome, you know, and it just sounds so true to me, and it just touched something in my soul. So I just really just start kind of binge watching all of his, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I was like, ooh, I want to manifest my desires, right? And so I just continued to look, listen to him, and then I started seeing that there were other people out there that was posting videos about manifesting. Carl Jung and, you know, all of these so-called great philosophers about how we co-create our reality. And so before I get into all of that, which is going to be the nitty gritty of the whole story and how it transpired, and I'm even going to tell you guys exactly how I am dealing with life now and everything that happened after that, because this is where it's going to get nitty gritty. A lot of people always talk about the spiritual awakening, how liberated they are, and it's just a beautiful, wonderful thing, but they never tell you about the in-between stages of actually awakening, shaking your world up about what you thought you knew, what you have to unlearn, what you have to learn now, expanding your consciousness, and everything that comes with expansion of the consciousness. So stay tuned. I'm going to be back with another part of this spiritual journey and awakening. Again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's Speaking Beyond the Illusions, and I'm going to see you guys the next time. Bye.